Alright, so this is a review that I've been wanting to do for a while now because this was just a surprising find for me. What we have here is the Philips SHL 3300 DJ headphones. Now, I bought these on Amazon, found them open box about 2 months ago for around $14. Now, you might hear $14 and expect maybe some not so great headphones, and you would be wrong. These are actually some fantastic headphones for their value. Now, if you're looking at them and you think, well, what the hell are those pads on there? These are not the stock pads. These are my extra pair of HM5 angled pads. And I replaced those almost instantly after getting these because these are the stock pads right here. These weird donut things that really don't they sit on your ear. No human ear is gonna fit in that. So the pads themselves really is where they cheaped out on this, because once you replace the pads, you are greeted with a very pleasant sound signature. These have a very emphasized bass. There's definitely an emphasis on the low end, as tends to be with headphones that tend to be of the cheaper variety. But they don't do it the same way that a lot of headphones do it, in that they just turn the bass up and then just muddy everything up. No. These produce very strong, clear bass that doesn't ruin the rest of the headphone experience, which is a big deal. Very big deal. The bass of these is fantastic. I listened to all of the Hotline Miami soundtrack on these as soon as I got them because they were just so fun to listen to. And the mids on these were surprisingly good. I am a very big person in the, I guess you could say, vocal range, where I really care about the vocals in certain genres of music. I'll forgive it an EDM if the vocals aren't as clear, if, like, let's say I'm listening to my DT770s, because I'm there for the bass. These managed to produce really fun bass while not ruining the mid experience. And I think that right there is a big plus on these, because I can't really think of anything else in this price range that could possibly do that. Hell, even most older generation of Beats couldn't produce mids that were clear. They were very muddy, along with the bass. These don't produce muddy bass at all. They don't produce muddy mids. They're very fun to listen to. And for $14, I honestly can't believe that these aren't the most popular headphones in the world. Now, they were, of course, open box, and there is kind of a channel imbalance where the left is just slightly louder than the right. And that I'm able to correct, with the built-in balancer on Windows, so it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it is something that needs to be mentioned. Now, the biggest turnoff of these has been really the pads, because these pads make them almost completely unusable because they're so uncomfortable. And I really only was able to use them with these pads for about 20 minutes before I was just like, well, I have the HM5 pads, let's try them on. Haven't taken them off since because, again, super fun headphones. Honestly, like, adding the HM5 head pads to these headphones essentially adds another $20 to the price. But even then, I honestly feel like it's worth it because they're so good at what they do. Philips is honestly killing it when it comes to their lower end headphones, because even the SHP 9500, while it isn't the greatest headphones in the world, and don't listen to people that tell you that they are, because they're not, they still compete super well in their price range, and these do the same thing. Honestly, anything in the under $50 price range, these beat. Like, everything that I have that is under $50 can't hold a candle to these, because these are just super fun to listen to. Like, the compromises that they made really weren't that detrimental. Build quality is a little iffy. It's mostly plastic, not sturdy plastic either. It's very flimsy. Like, you hold it up and it just like moves in weird and awkward ways. The cable itself, I feel like, is fine, but it's a little too not super great, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And it's coiled for like a certain part and then just straightens out for the rest, and it's still like tied up for me. I haven't undone that because I see no point in it because it's just gonna be super long. But yeah, let me get this out of here. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the only thing that I can say is just how surprised I am by these. I mean, checking on Amazon right now, right before I started recording this, I see that they're not available brand new, but there's still a bunch of open boxed ones. Now, the cheapest open box one right now is $18. But again, under $50, these are they're headphones to beat, really. At least so far that I've tried, because nothing that I've seen so far has been able to handle what these guys handle the low end super well. They handle the mid super well. The treble is where it kind of starts to lose out on because it doesn't extend very far. And I would honestly say that the treble's a bit recessed, but I don't think it's honestly that detrimental because the bass is already so good that chances are you're going to be using these for like bassy music, you know? Like every headphone seems to have that compromise of either bass or treble, and these settled for the bass, and I think they did it really well. I mean, honestly, I don't understand how they were able to make this good a bass at such a low price point when there's other manufacturers out there who charge 4 times this price and can't even produce bass as good as this. So these get a solid recommendation from me. Honestly, pick up an open box pair of on Amazon right now because these are super good. For $14, I got this. Honestly, I think hearing these, I probably would have paid like up to like $30. Now the pads, you're gonna have to change the pads, but you don't have to go this expensive with it. You can use the pads that I have on my M50s right here. The Shure 840 or 840 pads. I'm not sure. I'll link those in the description just so you guys know for sure which ones I'm talking about. Those pads are $10. All right. So let's say you pay $20 for these, get $10 pads on it. Boom, $30. You get pretty much the best bass headphones you can get. You know, and well, not the best, but like the best you can get at that price range. You know, because I mean, these don't compete with the DT770s in terms of bass. The bass on those is just all around superior, but those are 140 to 170. These are $14 to $20. I mean, honestly, is there a competition really there? I feel like these just handle EDM, they handle hip hop, they handle so many different genres of music so well, and even listening to Of Mice and Men on the, or not Of Mice and Men, Of Monsters and Men. I haven't listened to of Mice and Men in a really long time, but listening to Of Monsters and Men on here, which I mainly listen to them for their vocals and everything because that's all they really are. These still satisfied me, and I didn't really like Of Monsters and Men for the longest time until I heard their music on the AD700Xs. And those are going to get a review real soon. But what I'm trying to tell you with these is get these if you honestly want to have a good pair of fun headphones. I wish this wasn't a thing. You know, I wish this cable was a bit shorter because these could be fantastic portables. They claim they're DJ headphones. I mean, honestly, the only thing I can think of about that is the fact that they just have an emphasized bass that is really good. But I mean, for like studio work, I wouldn't really trust these, you know, because while the mids and the low end are fun to listen to, they're not exactly flat, and you kind of want flat if you're in the studio. For monitoring, the mids might be just a little too like I prefer the mids on my M50s for monitoring than these. They don't do a bad job at monitoring, but it's not the best experience with it, you know. I would put it slightly above the DT770s in terms of monitoring, but that's just because like the mids I feel like are a bit more forward than the DT770s. But other than that, like the rolled off treble, not really the best thing like for a flat headphone experience, but all in all, fantastic pair of headphones. Get them on Amazon. you probably won't regret it. You know, if the cable was removable, 100% would get like the portable headphones to get. But anyways, that is the end of this video, guys. I will see you guys next time. Bye.